I would like to take this opportunity to express my opinion of the MPRM docket number FAA-2019-1100. I am submitting my comments as both a recreational UAV pilot and a commercially certified UAV pilot. I'm also writing in support of the several thousand followers of my social media, which consists primarily of recreational UAV pilots. I would like to address three major components of this MPRM, providing my opinion of the proposal, as well as submit my suggestions for modifications that would make the proposal more acceptable to the majority. First of all, I would like to express that I do understand the need for the introduction of an unmanned air traffic management system. The volume of devices currently in the airspace, along with the rapid foreseen growth, demands some type of management, both for efficiency as well as safety. That being said, there are three major components of this proposal that I believe do not provide adequate accommodations for the largest group of UAV owners, the recreational pilots. The first component of this proposal that I wish to express my concerns for are in regards to the establishment of third-party data collection entities, also referred to as UAS service suppliers. These organizations would have real-time access to flight data, pilot information, and much more without restriction. This proposal would provide unlimited storage and access of this data to the UAS service suppliers. I am extremely concerned of this portion of the proposal. Allowing contractors to collect and store, access, and possibly sell personal data at free will is unacceptable to me as well as to the majority of all Americans. By entering into an agreement with these third parties, pilots would essentially be signing away any and all privacy rights. These suppliers will also charge a mandatory subscription fee for each drone. The proposal includes some anticipated fees, but were this proposal to move forward, there is nothing to prohibit excessive fees to be charged by the suppliers. The infrastructure that will be necessary to implement this service will need to be paid for by someone. Those costs inevitably will be passed on to the subscribers. These fees are an unnecessary burden on UAV owners and would severely damage the growth of the UAV industry at all levels. My second concern lies in the proposal that for a UAV to be able to fly under standard remote ID, it must be connected to the internet. The 74 stakeholder representatives that your own agency convened in 2016 decided that radio broadcast was the most feasible solution for remote ID. The final report mentioned nothing of requiring mandatory internet-based services. It is perplexing that this proposal leapfrogged the recommendations of the committee that was gathered together to actually create this proposal in the first place. Perhaps it has something to do with the fact that this proposal was crafted not by the stakeholders that were put to the task, but rather by the lobbyists that represent organizations such as the Commercial Drone Alliance. Network-based remote ID for UAVs creates unnecessary costs and egregious invasion of privacy. Radio broadcast exists, it's effective, and it prevents added financial burdens for all users, both recreational as well as commercial. Imagine if every vehicle, train, bicycle, even pedestrian were required to be connected to the internet to mobilize. And then imagine if those movements were tracked and recorded, stored, and potentially sold to others or stolen by others with malicious intent. It sounds absurd, right? Well, that's what this proposal is suggesting for all drone flights. My third and final concern that I'd like to express is the suggestion for certain UAVs to be restricted to fly only in predetermined FAA-approved sites. The majority of UAV users do not engage in the hobby to simply fly around in circles. Most individuals invest the time and money into the hobby because they want to explore the world from an entirely new perspective. They want to experience flight and capture images from countless angles. They want to explore, create, experience. Drone parks, as many have called them, achieve none of these goals. Imagine buying a new camera and then standing in the same spot every day taking photos. Or purchasing a new bicycle, but only being allowed to drive it up and down your driveway. Geo-fenced predetermined flying sites are from the days of old. Aerial RC has been transformed by camera drones and FPV aircraft and other related devices, much to the dismay of veteran RC aerial enthusiasts, who are accustomed to flying in predetermined areas simply because they love RC flying. But the fact is, aerial photography and videography has transformed the skies much like automobiles transformed the formerly dominated wagon trails of the olden days. It is not reasonable to restrict today's aerial RC enthusiasts to confined areas. This would effectively kill the hobby. That being said, perhaps the end game of this proposal is to accomplish just that. The elimination of recreational UAVs would clear the way for commercial aspirations. It is no secret that the Commercial Drone Alliance and many other businesses that would benefit financially from severely regulated airspace are excited about this proposal as it is written. I have confidence that this proposal was actually written by those entities. No longer would they need to share the air with millions and millions of those pesky recreational pilots. Adopting an internet-based solution would effectively prohibit millions of current UAV owners from flying, and it would also prevent new pilots from entering the hobby. I, along with the majority of current UAV owners, understand that no one in the commercial drone industry has any interest in protecting the rights of recreational pilots. The only industry that is concerned are those that deal in the retail sector. This proposal provides no reasonable accommodations for recreational drone flights and pilots. Safety is a very valid and widely accepted reason for the adoption of remote ID. Broadcast-based solutions provide the same level of safety and security without the excessive intrusion of privacy, data collection, cybersecurity concerns, data mining, and such. I ask that you do not move forward with this proposal as it is written. I ask that it be redrafted with the removal of mandatory UAS service providers and the removal of any mandatory internet-based solutions. I do suggest having internet-based solutions for those who may find value in it. I also would like to suggest that broadcast-based remote ID be the standard. My greatest fear is that the thousands of comments you have received thus far and the comments you have yet to receive are futile. As I peruse the nearly 6,000 comments already submitted, I have not read a single one that voices any support for this proposal as it is currently written. If no changes are made to the current proposal for the final draft, it will be evidence that the comment period was merely a technicality. You have a responsibility to pave the way for the future of unmanned aircraft systems. This moment in time is the foundation for the development of a safe, efficient, thriving, and fair airspace. You also have the responsibility to represent all parties, both commercial and recreational. Don't leave half of us in the dark. Draft a foundation that we all can stand on, not just half of us. Thank you for your due diligence. I wish you success.